need biscuits. Oh, yeah, do you need milkies? I know you do. I know. I'm trying to think what side I nursed you on that. Which side did you nap you? Side? Okay, this side. This side's next. There you go. Oh my god, real time mom life here. I was gonna film this video, but somebody needed milks, and I thought, okay, I'm just gonna film this anyway. So I thought this would be a really fun video to do because this has been something I've been chatting to people about. Hi, my darling. Lately, California versus Washington State. What are some of the differences? Which one's a hellhole? Which one should you move to? I'm gonna answer this politely, but honestly, both of them are kind of hellholes depending on your needs or what you look for in a place to live. Hi, my darling. How are you? All done? All done with the milk? You can't lift up my dress, but that's my dress. Sorry. That's my dress. Oh, sorry. So I have lived in Washington State since my son was about a year old, and he's now going to be 8 soon. Yes, my love. And I had moved here beforehand, before my son was born, and then I moved back and lived in California again for a couple of years. And I grew up in California. So I've lived in California for a really long time. And now I live in Washington. But I thought it was a really fun take because, oh my goodness, so many Californians move up to Washington State and they don't make it. And so many Washingtonians hate Californians. Let's be honest, they hate almost everybody. Okay, so the biggest thing is weather. It's just Washington State, Western Washington, because Eastern Washington is different. Western Washington has, I would say, 8 to 9 solid months of mostly gray. And yeah, it rains a lot and it's wet, but it's the monotonous bright gray that gives me migraines. So it really, and this is true for people that have been born here, it really wears on you. I don't know anyone that doesn't have to at some point go get sunshine at some point during the year because it's so gray. Hello, my love. And so dark here. I can't lift that up. I'm sorry. It's my dress. They just can't take it. Like, that's universally for everybody. Whether they go to Mexico or Vegas or a faraway destination, like they have to go somewhere for sun. So it really wears on everybody. California has very nice weather, I gotta say. Southern California is super sunny. A lot of it has a Mediterranean climate. Northern California is a bit more misty and cool, but you get a lot more sunshine, even when the cooler weather, than you do in Washington State. Washington State is just very gray. Don't think of it as like big lashings of storm. Just think of it as endless gray short days. And some people like that, but I don't know anybody that can handle year round without needing to like go see some sunshine. Yes, my darling. Yes. Okay, people. People are very different in California than Washington. I love you. My little biscuit. Are you my strudel? You are my strudel. Oh, don't boo-boo my blankie. Or not my blanket, my pillow. It's a pretty pillow. It has tassels. It goes doodle-doodle, doodle-doodle, doodle-doodle-doo-doo. But she loves strings right now. She's at this age where she likes strings and things. Who am I talking to? I'm talking to the camera. Hi, camera. So people are very different. I would say people in Washington State are they keep to themselves. They give you the cold shoulder. They don't like change. They don't like to show off too much with material things. Be careful, my love. And they have more of like a down and out attitude. Even if they're super not down and out, they have more of a down and out attitude. Don't boop with that though, okay, my love? Californians are more in your face, materialistic. They're gonna talk to you, chat with you. Grazie, bambina. I'm gonna put that in my bag. Oh, thank you. They will talk to you, but not at a deep level. So Californians are easier to like make superficial friends with, but they aren't, I would say, generally then going to get into as deep conversations. Washingtonians, if you can befriend them, are they deeper? No, I'm not gonna say they are. I think they're just less friendly. Yes, do you want? Oh, this is my lotion though. You can't have it. You can't have it. It's mine. I'm sorry. I know you want it. Here, let me find something you can have. Here, do you want my pretty headband? Would you like my pretty headband? To look like a pretty queen? Oh, she's Queen Bear. Oh, queen pear, you're beautiful. Look at that queen pear. You're beautiful, my girl. You look like an 80s workout goddess. Yeah. Jane Fonda, here we go. What was I saying? Okay, friendliness. Yeah. So I would say Californians more open and friendly, but very much they base their friendship with you on how much money you have, what kind of car you drive, where you live, how successful you are. Washingtonians don't really care about that at all. Like, I've never met anybody that really particularly cares about that. So they just, yeah, harder to make friends up here, but the people that you do befriend don't really care what you do for a living or what car you drive. Whereas down there, it's really like, you know, am I gonna run you over because you're only in a Mercedes and I'm in the Jag, you know, that kind of thing. I've got the Maserati, so I better, you know, run this stop sign and no one dare stop me. It's that kind of so it really depends on your vibe, you know. If you're a little bit flashier and you like a little bit more glitz, and I don't say that's necessarily a bad thing. Some people really enjoy, you know, I have friends that live in Santa Barbara and they love it. It's a tourist town in like a really luxurious sort of way. So it's, yes, good job. You're stirring. Oh, good job. It's, you know, luxury right on the face, right? You know, I would say Washington State has tons of luxury, but it's more southern and subdued. What is it? We're the state of subdued excitement. I think that might be true. Okay, real estate. This is on my mind because you biscuits that followed along on my channel last winter know that I gave up trying to house because I saved all my pennies. I worked so hard to grow my business and I thought finally I could afford a house. No. We got outbid by over half a dozen houses. Some of them went for over $200,000 over asking. Like, you couldn't beg, borrow, or steal to get your offer accepted. It was just impossible. Oh, grazie, my love. She has one of my props from my romance series that we're turning into a streaming series. Yes, thank you, my darling. Oh, so sorry. Oh, I moved it from where you put it. I apologize. How rude of me. You organized it and I unorganized it. I apologize. Wait, okay, real estate. So, I have opinions on both of this. So, I moved out of California and up to Western Washington to be closer to my sisters and their husbands and my brother and his family because, you know, I was a solo mama and trying to build my business at the time. It just made, oh, don't do that. And there was no way that I could afford to live down there in Southern California. The cost of living was just so high. And so now living here many years, I would say you get in Western, and this is really generalizing, but in Western Washington, prices can be relatively comparative to lots of parts of Southern California, but you get a bigger house, maybe twice the square footage. I'm at and it's hard for me to vote on competitiveness for housing market because I haven't tried to buy down there right now, and things are shifting up here too. So, but in general, I would say prices are relatively comparative. California, I think, is a little bit more expensive. Hi, darling. Oh, thank you. Thank you, my sweet pea. I love that you have all your goodies. Oh, your beautiful goodies, my darling. I love you. Relatively comparative, but I feel like you get bigger houses up here, which you need because you can't really do indoor-outdoor living up here because it's so cold and rainy most of the time. Now, if you're a self-employed digital nomad such as myself, it's a good question to compare the two states for that. So, California taxes are just way higher. It's something that keeps me from moving back. Oh, careful, my love, careful. Is California's got state income tax, it's got all sorts of self-employed sneaky taxes that they do on you, especially if you're like a digital nomad. Look at that. Washington State does have a tax if you're a digital nomad. It's like 2 to 3% for your business. If you're self-employed, you have to pay that on all your income. So it does have, good job, my sweet pea. It does have an income tax if you were self-employed. It's a sneaky thing that nobody tells you about. But it's a lot less than, yes, my love, than California. So California taxes are higher, so you do save some money on that. But Washington State taxes are really high in other areas, just not income taxes. So it does add up. Western Washington is an extremely expensive place to live. It really is. It is not a bargain place to live. Gas is a little bit more expensive in California than it is in Washington, so that's savings in Washington's favor, I would say. But careful, my love. Careful. Careful. I'm done with biscuits. Oh my gosh, filming with toddler. So yeah, so I think taxes are more favorable in Washington. And I think gas prices are better here. But it depends on, like, what's your driving preference, you know? Here, things are really spread out. And that's true in Los Angeles as well, but in other parts of Southern California, I feel like things are more clumped together. Now, lifestyle. So, you know, what's your lifestyle? Do you like to be outdoors all the time, even in the cold? And do you really enjoy that? Or do you want to have like shopping and restaurants around? So Southern California, by far, and I'm talking about California in general, but Southern California is like my area of expertise, right? Because I've lived there for so long. Southern California by far beats for food. Like if you want to be able to go to restaurants and get great food, Western Washington's food, it just doesn't compare. There are exceptions for good things, but overall, super expensive and ridiculously bad. I don't quite know how Washington State food is as bad as it is. I cook, I bake, so it's not as big a deal to me. But boy, I don't understand how the food can be so bad up here. Hi, my love. There's exceptions, but you know, California by far beats it for food. So if you want more like a laid back, luxurious life where you can easily buy stuff and get great restaurant food and things, California beats it easily. If you want to be outdoors, hiking, biking, skiing, kayaking, I would say Washington State beats it because it's got weather where you aren't going to overheat when you're out there. It's got a lot of great nature trails. Even if you're in cities, it's really easy to do. It really depends what you love. Now, if you like to be on the beach, hanging out, being mellow, that's a different thing too. I prefer California to that because there's only about a month or two in Washington State where you can go to the beach and not be super, super cold. So it really depends. What is your lifestyle preference? I don't feel like I can vote one is better or worse than the other. It really depends on what lights your fire for living. Okay, biscuits, my camera battery is blinking at me. So I'm going to see you in the next video. I thought this was a fun one to do because it's something I like to trash talk both states all the time. Thank you. She's bringing me presents. You're so sweet. Thank you, my biscuit. I'll see you in the next video. My assistant hopefully will be more distracted in the next video so I can be more concentrated.